Yeah. If you say something that you might regret, we'll send it to Buzz Rothfield and then we'll take it out.
Yeah, exactly. Send it to all the media outlets. Say you wouldn't believe what fucking Jake had to say.
Believe what Jake said about you, Buzz.
So, Coops, can you get it?
Right.
Like Jake had it.
So right there. See that? Give me a test.
Testing.
So there you go. Beautiful.
We on?
We're on.
Is this thing on? 1 2 1 2.
Check 1 2. No, we'll just go from anywhere.
Hey, good on you, Jake. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're a good bloke.
Oftentimes when people come here, I say you venture over this part of the world much, but for you, it's just down the road.
It's a tough drive, 5 minutes.
Fucking mate. You're living at Warriewood?
Narrabeen.
Yeah.
That's where the surfers are. He's right near.
Really?
Yeah. Do you get out there much, Jakey? Do you get out the back? No. Are you very buoyant?
Actually, believe it or not, we went surfing in the off season as a team. I got one of the big boards. I was actually all right.
Well, you get up?
Yeah.
Really? Maybe you miss your calling. Are you a good swimmer?
I used to be until I got a bit heavy around the edges. You know what I mean?
That had to be dragged through the water.
Well, one thing I want to bring up, Jake, is because everybody always says, and this has been the thing probably for the last decade, I reckon, any NRL player, there's not many NRL players you'd want to marry your sister, but when that question gets asked, probably 90% of the NRL has always said Jake Trbojevic. And somebody actually took that literal. Corey Waddell actually took that to the extremity of setting you up with his sister. Is he very happy with that?
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean,
Can we just try to... Is it Corey Waddell's sister? Or is it just someone that Corey picked up along the way and said, okay, you can just do me a solid here. You know? I want to get in thick with Jake, get another contract.
The brother-in-law. Yeah. But you're going out to, you hang out with Wads quite a bit though.
Yeah, we'll play together, yeah.
Yeah. Do you reckon, what do you rate him as a bloke?
He's good.
Yeah, like outside of being a brother-in-law. If he wasn't your brother-in-law, you reckon you'd be mates with him?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
You're mates with him, are you?
Oh, yeah, but I'm not related. You know what I mean? Like, he's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, just on that, on your Manly teammates, Jake, can you just fill me in? Because I'm getting bits and pieces all the time that continue to come in about DCE's wedding and the grub who emceed it, some of the things he said.
Jake got you got a fair few mentions in it.
It was funny. I'll tell you, it was funny.
You got
what was the disabled toilet one really? That was the best one.
Yeah, not that we can say it on here, but there was a couple disabled toilet jokes.
Well, it's just a joke. It's an old one. I'd say to you do at shows. I actually gave it to Cooper. Did I?
Not that one.
Not that one. Sure about that?
No. You gave me one, and it was about Ben Hunt going into
Army camp. That was funny too.
It was. Yeah. That was the worst of them, though, wasn't it, Jake? Because Dad gave me that one.
Yeah. It's the old one.
No, I rated that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, it's the old one to do with MC people. If you're listening, you want to have a laugh in the MC. You just go, right, guys, just a couple of rules here. Okay, let's respect the neighbours. You're going to go outside. Let's not too loud. Of course, that's where you get your beers up there. Try not to take them outside. Smokers, please be good. Over there, you head over that side. Don't smoke inside, of course. And look, for people who want to use the disabled toilet is just over there. Do your very best.
Yeah, it was.
If you're disabled, find another toilet.
That's what I said. I said, look, ladies' toilet over here, blokes' toilet around there, and if you're looking to do the disabled toilet's over there, and if you're disabled, just find somewhere else to go to the toilet. But the worst part was, there were a lot of people in wheelchairs there because, some of Chez's grandparents and Wok was in there.
Wok would have loved it, mate. He loves a joke, Wok.
Yeah, Wok was having a laugh. He's one of he's a manly great, Wok.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he sings this. If you ever see him in the sheds, he sings the song with the boys every time the boys have a win.
Oh, yes.
Great.
Yeah, I've met him before. Yeah, he's just a terrific fella.
And one of the smartest greatest memories of rugby league and cricket you'll ever see.
Is he?
Yes.
Cricket as well.
Cricket as well. Loves his cricket, loves his footy, anything about Manly, any test tours.
He's right.
Rugby league, cricket, from
wow.
Knows everything, yeah.
It's funny, when you're an MC or you're doing something, it's horrible when you look into the crowd and you can just see there's one person just staring at you, not into it. Coops, you ever one of those ones where I've had a few where you've looked in the audience, you think you're flying, everyone else sort of having last but your turn, and there's one bloke, sometimes associated, usually close to the bride, that's just death staring you.
Oh, I didn't know. One person I did notice about because he wasn't laughing a heap was Des Hasler. He was there, Des, and there was a couple jokes I made about Des, and I was like, and I couldn't tell because he wasn't really laughing. I couldn't tell whether it was offending him or not. But then after he come up to me, And he was like, mate, that was bloody funny. He was like, that was bloody funny.
Mate, there was one, Stu Philpy, who he gets our crowd going on a Thursday and Sunday night. Terrific bloke. He told me the other day, he goes, mate, I did a speaking gig the other day. He said, I was on fire. He said, one of the best I did. But I looked around and he said, Kenty was in the front row and just death staring me the whole time. He said, I made a joke, just going, oh, look at this, resting Kent face.
Yeah. I actually wanted to, before we get on with asking you some questions about yourself, you and Matthew have a bit of a rich history, obviously on the Northern Beaches, but Dad, one of my favourite
Northern
pranks.
Beaches, great, you know.
Legends, icons.
Agree.
Who's got more power on the Northern Beaches? I'm not sure.
It's Jake for sure.
You have to be. He'd run for the Premier. Of
But as you head towards the
Premier.
Central Coast up to Newcastle, mate, so you be careful, man.
You're dominant.
I'll get my posse onto you.
But the
Don't
prank,
fuck with those guys.
the prank that Dad got you and Turbo with, was it in the Rebel Sport?
Yeah, Dave from DY.
Dave from DY, where he was done in the makeup. That's still, I rewatched that quite a bit. It's still one of the best pranks.
You know, like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I cottoned on early.
You did.
I was first face to face. I went, that's Matty Johns.
Yeah, I heard that they edited around it a little bit.
Then I did a bit of acting, you know what I mean? When I was signing the porn mag, I knew that sort of thing, right?
Oh, so you knew by then.
I knew, yeah. Because
Jake, when I hand in the Paul magazine, he goes, mate, is this the May edition? Of,
He didn't give it back.
The producer or whoever was there come up and said, do not ruin this. We've paid good money to get all this stuff on, you know? And so I just went along with it. And it probably worked out better because I gave the keys
To the
then
car.
he could get in the car, you know what I mean? If I didn't know, that wouldn't have worked out.
So Tommy had zero idea.
No.
Because you can, if you've seen Dad around a lot, you can see in the face it kind of looked like him.
Well, you'd hope you'd know that. You know
Well,
what I mean?
yeah, I mean,
if
it's
you're Tom
easy
at a
for me.
promo, you know, maybe not.
Yeah, and
that's the thing with Tom. You know, that's the thing I've learned about humans. God doesn't give you anything. You know, Tom is fast. He's got a good speed. He's somebody's looks. But, mate, he's an idiot.
no, he's not an idiot. He's actually quite
Genius.
intelligent. He's actually not even undercover. He's a genius when it comes to reading and writing.
What is it?
Book smart.
What did he get
90
at
something.
school?
94.
Yeah, 94.3 ATAR.
How'd you go?
No, nowhere near that. Anything mathematical, give him an equation or something like that.
You're good.
No, Tom.
No. Oh, okay. How
Yeah.
are you at maths?
I'm all right, but when you're comparing me to Tom, I'm terrible. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But Tom couldn't make 45 tackles. You know what I mean?
Well, he's struggling with the 25 at the moment, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're whinging in the centres now. By the way, how good is Lehigh?
But you boys are playing outstanding at the moment. Last week, good winner. You're on 3 on the trot when recording this, and last week, good win in Melbourne.
Yeah, it was great.
And the scene, can I say, the scenes afterwards, Jakey, when you were in the sheds and they flashed down and you kicked over those poor Powerade bottles, they did nothing to you, but you just decided to just kick them
I was
right
just
over.
so happy. I don't think I could believe we just won in Melbourne, you know what I mean?
It's a good win.
Felt like an idiot after. I didn't know the camera was on either, you know, but anyway.
Have you had many wins in Melbourne in your career?
Believe it or not, I've had 4.
Wow, that's good going.
Believe it or not. Yeah.
You guys have kind of always been like a bogey side for Melbourne. Like, remember
Well, that was probably long before my time where Manly and were really dominant.
competitive. But even when even of the modern sort of generation, even when you guys haven't been on your best, you playing at Brookvale Oval, when Storm come there, they kind of struggle to play against you there.
We'd been really good against them at Brookvale Oval up until this year. They touched us up in round 5, but the previous 3 before that, we'd actually played quite well. You remember a couple of them, wouldn't you?
Oh, I was a part of one of them. Thanks for bringing me into it, Jakey. Yeah, I was a part of one of them. Probably one of the more iconic wins that the Manly have had at Brookie Oval. Yeah, but that's why it's got its name, obviously, now. And you know what that name is, right, Jakey?
The Cooper Johns Cup.
Yes, perfect. And I didn't even feed in that line as well. That's just come very naturally.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate you acknowledging that.
Mate, good. You're doing good form. Out of the blue, you sort of found a bit of consistency.
Yeah, that's been our issue, consistency, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, 3 good games. We've still got a long way to go. You wouldn't say we're a consistent side yet. Week to week, and even during a game, you could get 10 minutes of great footy, 10 minutes of who knows what we're going to throw out, you know what I mean? So, keep building on that. We've got a tough one this week against Bulldogs. They've been a very consistent team, so it'd be nice to go and back up our performance last week.
How do you go?
It would be good. I mean, the thing about consistency is you got to take it in perspective. I mean, one day we're all going to die, you know. And Mate, since he's done that speech.
It frees you up.
Yeah,
I heard that from somewhere.
I will say this, if that's your barometer, always for if you should care, you'd fucking care about nothing or nobody.
it's a great fallback option to always have that in your back pocket, right? Like, it's excellent. On Manly this year, because there's been, and I swear it's been the story of sort of Manly's identity probably the last 3 or 4 years. There's always a bit of distraction going on amongst the playing group, but particularly the last month. How do you as a leader and like push a lot of the off-field distraction aside to just get on with your job?
I don't know. I stress out a bit, if I'm being honest.
Do you? Does it?
That's what captains do, don't they? Or leaders of the team.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
When it's, I don't know. It's hard when it's not going well. I'd like to say I've got better at it. I thought I had, but then this year, I don't know. At times it's quite tough.
Because you wear losses quite like they affect you quite heavily.
Yeah, well,
right?
like I want Manly to go well. You know what I mean? Whether I'm out there, anyone's out there, I want the club to go well. Obviously, I've been there since I was 14, 15. You know, so it is tough, and when we're not going great, but it's the last few weeks have been enjoyable, and it'd be nice to keep building on that because it just makes life way easier.
It's amazing in a team, isn't? And I think you're the best example of it, Jake. Some people in the side, and everyone should just care so much. You know, and I've seen you sometimes be in tears after a loss, so disappointed and deflated by it. And I don't want you to comment on this, but there's always 1 or 2, sometimes 2 or 3 blokes in a team which, and I'm not exaggerating, just don't care. Right? For them, it's just a game, and they get paid for it. And in the really good sides, those players don't so much don't hide; they get converted. They get converted by the strong leadership. In the bad clubs, mate, their attitudes just, spreads like COVID through the team. And, and again, don't want you to comment on this, but I look at the Des situation, right? And, the massive blow up, and imagine you get PTSD when you saw it, you'd be going, oh, fuck, I've had a few of those. But, to be in the sheds, gives them a spray, then looks over and there's blokes in the shower room allegedly sort of laughing and being jovial, like fucking hell. Like, you wouldn't cop that. Would you, Jake?
No, and like referring to the Des thing, obviously the spray, like it comes from a good place, I think. Like he just wants to win. He's a winner, you know what I mean? He's one of the greatest coaches I've ever had. So it is, I guess it is hard when you see that, yeah. But
yeah.
Yeah, what was the question again?
No, for you and you sorry. But in the sheds, Jakey, you'd get there sometimes.
Oh yeah,
and you'd be so deflated. And I'm not asking to name players, but there'd be times during your career you'd be so deflated, and you'll glance over in the room, and you can just see there's blokes, and they're having a little bit of a laugh together. And you go, what the fucking hell?
No, it definitely is hard, as you said, especially when you invest so much and you sort of care so much. And like I was saying it just before, like Manly's sort of, I've been at Manly since I was young. I want Manly to do well. I want Manly to be a great club. You know what I mean? And I look at throughout the history, we've been a great club. You know what I mean? We've made like 19 grand finals, we've won 8 premierships. The last 40 years we've had one every decade. You know what I mean? So I want to be a part of that. And it's hard, right? When it's not going well. So it is definitely hard when you care so much. But I guess that's just part of me, I guess. Yeah.
And that's part of it. Like Jake, like they use the Gold Coast, the area itself, as an excuse. They go, oh, look at the beautiful beaches, blah, 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 blah. And they got this, that, and the other. Mate, Manly, this area is not that much different. You know what I mean? It's not known as this sort of glitter strip. But, mate, there's a lot of distractions here. There's a lot of beautiful beaches. There's a lot of things to do. Doesn't stop Manly being successful.
Yeah, well, I think one thing that, like, I don't know, you just look at the club. They've just had people who just want to be successful, hard workers. I look at the generation before me, the Stewart brothers, Watt Mowers, Jamie Lyon, Matt Bell. They're just all hard players, wanted to play for each other, you know what I mean? And just, I don't know, that's what they built their identity on. And
yeah.
It's just, I guess I want the club to, like, we're time to time we do that, but we're not consistent. You know what I mean? So that's where I want us to sort of get to, you know what I mean? They just build it on hard work, and they've just, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Is there a game, Jake, or is there a moment or anything when you're a kid that makes you fall in love with the club?
Yeah.
Is there? Yeah.
We see it every time we versus Storm. We see the 2011. We actually, Matty Nable, like, sort of does a piece for us, and it's just like
Salah Brookvale.
Yeah.
Just
not the fighting. We don't condone violence, but just the way they just back each other up. Like Brett Stewart ran from, honestly, he looked like he got slingshot over there to run in for his brother. You know what I mean? That sort of stuff. It gives you goosebumps.
Yep.
Like, yeah, like it just seemed they like sort of played by a code. The way they played. Like they were just,
And I reckon, Jake, that side at the time, there was a great rivalry against the Melbourne Storm. But I remember hearing some of the blokes say, I tell you what happened, Jake, was in this certain game in the year, it was 2008, in 2008 season. And there'd always been a fair bit of niggle between Manly and Melbourne. And you just played at Brookvale Oval and Melbourne won. However, there was a couple of stinks in the game, and I think one of the Melbourne players gave Brent Kite a Russian toothbrush. For people who don't know, it's drop your knee into his Achilles. And the
Is
player,
that what it's called?
Yeah, Russian toothbrush. So they dropped the player, Brent Kite dropped the ball, just turned around and started throwing him. And the next day, I run into some of the Manly boys, and they were like, mate, and I said, geez, fiery game last night. And they said, yeah, mate, we just decided we're not going to take any of their fucking shit, and I suppose that was part of that team's success.
Definitely. And just how passionate they were for the area. Like, I still see Brett Stewart a fair bit today. He's around the club a bit, seeing how passionate he is for the club. I understand why they were so successful, why they were such great players. And Chock Watmouth's there coaching, in the lower grades. And I don't know, you just understand why they were so successful. And then obviously they had Des leading them, and he's just a great leader of men, right? Very passionate, works extremely hard. And I know, it was just an identity that they sort of built.
When you were young, Jakey, like your first year in that NRL squad training, who was the bloke that you looked up to in that squad? Yeah,
well, I was lucky, right? So when I was 15, I was coaching at Manavale Raiders. So I actually coached Jamie Lyon's sons, his two sons.
Ah.
And Matty Ballin's sons were playing at the Raiders. So I sort of knew them. So they were really good mentors for me, those two. And it helped that I knew them because I'm a bit of an introvert, I don't put myself out there.
Yeah.
Coming into a great side, I wasn't really playing. I was just training.
Yeah, but it's daunting. It's like first day at school. Very daunting. Yeah, and everyone's older than you.
And then also you know what I found funny? I didn't know whether to call Anthony Watmouth. Do I call him Anthony or Chock? Everyone calls him Chock, right?
Mr. Watmouth.
You know what I mean?
Stuff like that. You have to earn the right to use that nickname.
How do I do that? That was just
what'd you do? Did you use?
I think I said Anthony. I can't remember. And then I quickly realised that was not holding up Anthony.
Anthony just throw us that ball for us. That does. But what good karma for you? It just shows. People listen to that and will get an appreciation. There you go. You put yourself out there. You spent your time. You're coaching the under-15 side, and inadvertently.
No, I was coaching under-6s.
Under-6s. Yeah. Sorry, you're 15. I apologise. Yeah. And you're coaching the under-6s, and you got to know those guys.
Yeah.
And help get you into that team.
I know. It was a great blessing in disguise. They're still great mates of mine.
Who was your first coach there when you first come
Jeff
to the group?
Toothie.
Oh, it's Tooths.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Just very passionate. His passion was his greatest strength. Just the way he was about to run out there with us. You know what I mean? He wanted it. It was great.
Well, the toughest bloke, mate.
Yeah.
He and Kieran, just peas in a pod. I've actually got Tooths' jersey from the 97 grand final. We swapped it, and the jersey is just covered in blood.
Yeah.
And Trish wanted to wash it. And I said, mate, don't wash it. It's just because that game, he went off twice. Remember, Deuce stomped on his head.
That's right.
That'll do it.
Stud marks in his eyes and that, right?
Yeah.
He was tough. You know what? I can't believe it's great you got his jersey, but how do you swap a grand final winning jersey? I never understand how they do that to this day. I heard
there's an old trick. There's an old trick you use.
What's the old trick?
The old trick is you change jerseys at halftime. So whenever I played in a state of origin or Australian team, they always have two jerseys.
Yeah.
So I'd say to the gear steward, I've got a tear in this jersey or something, and I'll put that one in my bag, and then at halftime get the other jersey, and that's the one you swap. Isn't that in the middle of an important game?
So you did that in the grand final. You took your jersey off, threw it in your bag, and got a new jersey.
Yep.
Ah, that's very smart. Because I remember when Jack.
That is smart.
Remember when we played out at Mudgee and it was Jack and I playing against each other, and after the game, Jack went, "We should swap jerseys. This is a pretty cool moment for the family." And I was like, yeah, that's right. I took it off, swapped him with him, and it ended up in a draw. And I remember Newcastle felt like they won, and we felt like we lost because I think we were favourites to win that game. And I went back in the sheds. Everyone was filthy. And then
how happy was Rossi?
Rossi, our gear steward. Rossi, who's a terrific bloke. He's like the nicest bloke in the world.
Great gear steward too. Me and him picking up the bottles together anyway after I kicked him.
Yeah, he is awesome. He's the best bloke. And Rossi goes, and I'm like shirtless, just got this Knights jersey, and he goes, "Where's your fucking jersey?" And I went, I swapped it with my brother, thinking he'd go, "Oh yeah, good on you." And he goes, "Fuck off." I went, "Yeah." I went, "Oh yeah." And he goes, "Well, that's going to cost you." And I was like, we just drawn, and I was like, "Rossi, I don't need this right now in this moment." Talk to him. He didn't end up charging me, thank fuck. But they take it. They're very. They don't. They don't let you give jerseys out very lightly these days.
I hated it because every time I played for Australia, I wanted to keep the jersey. I was not swapping, right? Sorry, I did once where I wanted to, Kieran Foran. I was very happy to do that. But then once we were playing Scotland and a bloke come up to me and said, oh, can we swap? And I didn't know what, I said yes because I didn't know what to say. And after I was secretly burning because I love keeping my jerseys sort of thing. So
especially like a Scottish jersey.
Well,
I only want to swap with Foz.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, you know, like one of the reasons why it stopped, Jake, and that was the tradition in grand finals. As soon as the full-time siren went, you know, in the 70s and 80s and ongoing, they would swap jerseys, and it stopped when sponsorship started to become so prolific. Yeah, because you know, if you know, with you guys,
you're in a team photo.
You're in a team photo, and you're wearing the other jersey, which is
that
the
would
other
kill
sponsor.
me looking back.
Yeah,
I was the player.
Yeah.
And I'm in the other. I just won the comp. I haven't won a comp, so I don't know what it feels like. But you're wearing the other team's jersey in the photos. That would hurt me.
Imagine being the head of the CEO of a company who's paid all this money to.
Well,
and then
you just won the comp.
You're wearing the Bulldogs jersey.
Yeah. Pepsi's the sponsorship, and Coke's the opposition. All of a sudden, you're wearing these Coke jerseys.
Yeah, that's that makes sense. I think that is a big issue. Even now, they say like they don't want to swap jerseys now because when they get photos after the grand final. I think sponsors actually like have it written in these days. I'm pretty sure
it would be.
Yeah, but you never see you don't see too many swaps. You see international.
There's no way you're swapping.
No
after
way.
A grand final now.
All right, Matthew, week 3 of the health kick.
Yep.
Give me an update. How's it going?
Going great, mate. Going really, really good, Coops. Getting up. Usually, mate, I'm average sleeper. I'm sleeping really well, which means I'm getting up every morning at 6:30, getting out there, starting the day with training. Feel good, recovering. Good. Usually, you know, if I train the day before, you've got to take off a day in between because I just don't recover that good when you get past 50.
And how's your training bloody going? Because we saw you doing the push-ups last week. You're strong.
You put the challenge to me, you and Jack, the thick band across my back. And Jack reckons I wouldn't have been able to do 5 push-ups. I told him I could do 10. Did 10. But guess what, boys?
What?
I did 15 today.
Did you?
Yep.
With no one watching?
Yeah, with no one watching.
Well, no one's holding you to account then.
Yeah.
It's very hard for us.
I've dropped a kilo and a half, another kilo and a half.
Have you?
Yep.
Jeez, mate, you're looking good. You're looking handsome. And you look younger.
Thanks, Coops.
And what you were saying to me earlier is all the boys in at work are getting sick.
Well, that's the other good thing about it. It's the fact that I've been taking it every day, and all my crew at work have come down with the flu. They're crook, and I've got nothing. I'm good.
Everyone's getting crook at the moment.
Yeah.
Keep up your electrolytes because apparently there's a bit of a new strain of COVID getting around, I think.
Well, Coops, it hasn't hit me.
Correct.
It's just, mate, the virus is just bouncing off me.
Nothing can live in you. But if you want to get some, head to begoodhealth.com.au. Use code JOHNS for 10% off. And if you're a subscriber, 20% off. That's
there
exciting.
You go. Excellent. Nice one.
Back to the podcast.
Jake, how you were raised, right? So a lot's been said about this, but I remember turning up at Mona Vale Oval when we're coaching, when the boys were playing for Harbord, and there was yourself and Tom and Ben and family, your mum and dad, everyone there. They're putting mum and dad are working the barbecue. You guys are doing the lines on the field, putting the witches' hats out, all that sort of stuff. Like, where'd that come from? Is that the old man driving that?
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely mum and dad. Like, I don't know. Once we started playing for the Raiders, I think from a year or two since we started playing, Dad was just right into it. He was always on the barbie. He was the president. He just, we're down there. It was part of our life. Like, we go down there every Friday Arvo. We're excited for it. We had lots of great friends like down there. It was all Arvo. You'd be there all night because Dad's on the barbie. Then we'd go back the next morning. We'd be first there and you'd be there till the end because we were setting up. And I don't know. That was definitely come from my mum and dad. They're always a big part of it. But we loved it. You know what I mean? It was cool. Like, we'd go down in our footy gear at 6 a.m. We'd be playing midday or whatever. Then you'd watch every game, play, and then watch every game after that.
But your old boy, even at Captain's Run still at Manly, your old boy will get down on the barbie.
He's on tomorrow, actually.
Is he doing the barbie tomorrow? On the glass barbie. Yeah, he over there with some snags and like it's he doesn't have to do it, but you and Tommy, like, that's ingrained, and Benny, in all of you boys, like the amount of work that you guys do with junior footy too, and probably thankless promos. You know how the boys would have to do promos for sponsors sometimes, and the boys might go, "Oh, look, not today." Like, you boys go above and beyond to just give back to Manly, but also the local community.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, sorry. It was the nicest thing I've ever said to you.
It's nice to hear you say something.
Ground announcing one day. I think you were a ground announcer.
Oh yeah, monotone ground announcer. But I did my best.
Yeah, that was a dude. Like, that is incredible.
Harold Matts.
Did you do a Harold Matts?
Yeah, when
Harold
Tom was
Matts.
playing, I did Harold Matts and ball. I think I might have been just.
Yeah, when the boys were playing,
Yeah.
I'm listening, and the ground announcer went, "Man, that ain't Grant Goldman," and which is the old announcer. No, but I'm sitting there. I go, oh, I know that voice. And I look up, and you're the ground announcer.
Yeah, I remember seeing you with is it Keithy Onslow?
Keithy Onslow.
He was there with you that day.
Yes, he was the guy that discovered Andrew and I.
Oh, was he? What, recruitment officer or something?
Yeah, he was.
He was our manager for the junior Kangaroos in 2014.
Was he, Keith?
Yeah.
Terrific, great rugby league man.
Yeah, no, I remember seeing you down there. I was up on the mic.
You were going,
Number one.
number one.
What a try. I was so bad.
You're bad. So you actually had to commentate?
No, not commentate.
Or just announce?
Say they score, you announce who scored, lineups before the game.
And it's only you up there. Was anyone else with you?
No, it's just me.
That's actually a pretty tough gig if you're not, like, if it's just your first time doing it.
Well, I think it's because I used to go and watch Tom play, right? And Tom must have been an SG ball, so I mustn't have been playing that day, right? Because it's Harold Matts and SG ball, so I must have been in 20s or something.
Yeah.
And they didn't have anyone, and I did it once, and then it just became a thing.
So you did it.
I was on for home games.
That is so funny from you. That is so good. Because we talked about how much you love Manly now, but you're a Knights supporter growing up, right?
I was.
And is that like, you can give this fella a rap if you want, or don't?
Jeez.
Where does that come from?
Oh, look, I'll be honest with you. I started the first game I ever watched was 2001, the semi-final against the Roosters.
Oh, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Adam McDougall and Joey had the blinders. I think they won about 40-6 or something, right?
Yeah.
And then from then on in, it was Adam McDougall and Andrew Johns, my two favourite players. Like
Really? Mad Dog?
From 01, yeah. Because that game, go back and watch the highlights.
Yeah.
Mad Dog, he played so good. And then obviously just jumped on the bandwagon. Then a few weeks later, grand final, 24-0 lead at half time, going, how good's this my team, you know?
There's a moment in that game that a little period in the game that symbolises Joey and competitor and, his ability to play. He gets knocked totally unconscious at the start of that game. And a few minutes later, he takes the ball, beats about 5 blokes, scores, and turns around at the Roosters blokes and goes, fuck you, and fuck you.
Really?
I've watched because when I was young, I got the 2001 night cheer. You'd watch all the games in highlights.
Oh, yeah.
That game, watch it. There's some great commentary. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Ray Warren was calling him Messiah. And Peter Sterling goes, he's a bit like, it was, yeah.
Really?
But that year, Jake, because I was over in Wigan, I was in England, and Andrew suffered an injury in the middle of the year, missed about 6 weeks. In all of those games, they dead set got pumped by 50.
Yeah.
And then the game that he returns, they played at home against the Broncos who were flying, and Knights beat them 40-0.
Jesus. There is like, when I remember watching some of the highlights from those years, and he nearly won a Dally M one year, and he'd only played like, I think, a third of the games in the season because he was getting injured. Yeah, I know. But like, there is a handful of players like that who are so, the team, not relying on them, but there are some years where if they lose that one player, and Turbo's an example, like some years, like when Turbo's been out,
Yeah,
basically, like there's been so many losses in a row after it because so much of the attack is reliant.
2021 when he got the Dally M, we started 0-4.
Yeah, that's right.
We got a win in round 5. We kicked a drop goal. He wasn't playing, and then he come back in Mudgee round 6, and he won Dally M. We made top 4 from 0-4.
Owen, yeah, he's
it was just like just the belief you got from having him on the field. You know what I mean?
It is a different and I've only played the 1 year at Manly, but when the difference in having Turbo out there versus not, whether he had a big game or not, it was like the confidence you give everyone else. It was sometimes you go into the game.
Like what they do, what you see, it's their presence. And from when he's at fullback, for instance, the way he sort of directs people around and just
his communication.
It's just like different. And I feel like when he plays, the whole crowd bloody has a lift. You know what I mean? The Brookvale Oval's different.
Every time he gets the ball, everyone gets to their feet.
Yeah.
What was he like as a kid, as a player? Was he always a freak?
Yeah. He's always he's from a young age just scoring tries left, right and centre.
Did that frustrate you? Because Joe,
I'm a proud older brother, mate.
Yeah, no, but
He's a family man.
You work your ass off, right? Your gift, and it is a gift. It's passion. Right?
Yeah,
that's your gift, and people underestimate that, mate. Getting up for games, having passion. mate, it's a skill and it's a gift. That's yours. You know, Tom's an incredible athlete. You know, watching him grow up, there are times you'll be watching him and go, fucking hell. Come on, give me a little bit of that.
Oh, I would love some of that. Just a bit of speed or something.
Mate, a little bit. You've got a bit. You got a bit of time.
Very proud, like watching him go out there and play well and whatever, overcome everything and just be so resilient. Like, he's one of the most resilient people I've ever seen with what he's had to like go through and people talking about him and all that.
And he works bloody hard.
So hard. Yeah. Like no one understands how hard he works.
Was he good at other sports?
He played AFL. He had the body type for sort of AFL. You know what he was really good at? Like I'm talking freakish at nippers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
I've seen the pictures of him in his
the
togs.
sprint and the beach flags from under 8s. No, when can you start going to the States?
I think that's 10.
Oh,
Under
whatever
10s, I
age it
think.
is to under 14s. The sprint and the beach flags, he was first or second in the state every time at the carnival.
Really?
Every year, yeah.
You know what I'm thinking?
What?
Let's get a race down here. He and Damien Cook.
No. I think Tom's grown out. I don't think flag suits him anymore. You know what I mean? The big turning circle.
Jack's got a question.
Hey, Jakey, long-time fan, first-time listener.
2GB.
I was just going to say to you, when you were talking about Tom during that 2021 year, so we were in lockdown with the Manly boys, Roosters boys and Panthers boys that year, and you just sparked my memory. I think Des gave Ches the big bungalow because all the coaches got given like
No, I need to stick up for Ches here. Anyway, keep going.
we used to walk past Des all the time as like, because you always, it's weird. You're living and playing against all these teams. And Des, anyone that came near him, everyone knew not to say a word to him.
Can I firstly stick up for Ches?
Yeah, you stick up for Ches.
Because he had 3 kids, he actually paid for that bungalow.
Oh, did he?
So
Wow.
people who said he got given that entitled, no, he paid for it, right? No. Anyway, Des and his aura, when Des walked in a room, even when he was your coach, he owned that room. Like, you could be talking, whatever, he'd walk in and that room was his. You know, I don't think I've ever seen anyone like it. Maybe Malvin Inga, but like when it was just, I don't know. And
was it tough? Because we all, you know, coaches go through such ups and downs, highs and lows of the season plus COVID. How did you guys find it living alongside the coach every day? Because at Newcastle,
I loved it.
It's one of those things because it's so hard because you got a coach who's just like living it every day, and then the players try to get away from it. What were your days off like?
No, he was actually really good. I think early on, everyone said because obviously he loves it, right? And he'll just go into so much detail.
He's a
right?
footy nerd. Like, he's a full footy
everyone was
nerd.
like, "We're gonna have days off. We're gonna have days off, right?" But I'll tell you a funny story. So I'd been out for a month. I tore my glute, believe it or not. Power athlete.
Yeah.
How have you ever done a soft tissue injury?
Anyway, power athlete, tore my glute. Come back, right? And we played the Tigers and we won. We actually won quite convincingly, but I defended very poorly, right? And just like I'm talking on the ground, that sort of stuff, right? Anyway, I was literally rattled. I went through one of my I'm going to retire stages, right?
You've had a few of those.
A few of them. Anyway, I went up to Des's bungalow. He was on his own. Christine hadn't moved up there yet. And we went through every tackle, watched every tackle with me. And at one stage, he had me on the floor in his bungalow showing me the wrestling move and how to sprawl. Like, I'm literally on his floor and he's sprawling on me like...
Mate.
Just like teaching you hands-on.
Like,
there's that old story.
It was me and him in his room. But it was like, I love it.
Imagine if the cleaner walked in.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, just leave you to it.
Like, that was the sort of depth he'd go to. Like, you could see I was ready. We watched every single tackle I did, and it was actually a few that day. I think I played 80 minutes, right? But I just wasn't happy with it, right? And we watched every, like, I'm talking from when the player I was tackling hit the ground to when they got up. We just looked at everything. And then he was even showing me, like, this dude. Yeah. Like,
that's good for you. But it's a good rap for you there, Jake, if I can jump in with you. Like, a lot of players, if they have a bad game, they kind of want to forget about it and just move on. Whereas it's a good sign in you, and it's a good lesson for young kids who are listening who might want to be wanting to play NRL one day. Like, your proactiveness to go to your coach and actually watch every single tackle, like, it's a sign that you want to get better as well. Because a lot of people, and I'll put my hand up, I used to do it sometimes after a shit game where you just flush it and almost want to just move on with the next week.
We could tell.
Oh, wow. I was trying to have you know what? No more raps for either of you this time. No, sorry. You can take over from there. But like, has that always been something with you? Like, is that something you just want to get better?
Yeah, I think so. But also, sometimes it does get what you just said. Like, you don't go so well or whatever, and team's not going well. You literally just want the next week. But I don't know. I think with Des, you just always knew he'd have something really proactive for you to work on, and you knew you could get better, and he knew if he told you something, he would have thought about it till 3 a.m. that bloody night.
Are you a real footy nerd? Like you'll watch all the games.
I used to. Like when I first come into first grade, I watch every show, every game, now I rarely watch a game.
What about the shows?
I used to watch every single show. Just now, I just can't do it. Too much anxiety, too much stress.
No, I get that, Jake.
I just can't do it anymore.
It's too much footy.
Well, I was going to say for you, mate. Like for you, when it comes to rugby league, you're 100 out of 100. You never get half measures. I was going to ask you that. How do you get away from the game? How do you finish a game and then let it go? And
it's been hard for me. My wife Alex has been great for that, for giving me perspective in life. You know what I mean? Like realizing there's so much more than just footy. But it's hard. As I said, I put so much into it, and I just want Manly to do well.
Mate. I tell you what, she dobbed you in the Sunday paper.
I know.
Some of that stuff was horrific.
I deserve it, but she deserves a medal for bloody dealing with me.
What she's talking about,
they asked what's Jake like around the house. How he's with the cook. And she goes, he's sort of, similar. He's probably not that great. He does things like he wraps the lettuce in alfoil. And
that's honestly a thing. I need some. Do that.
Well, what else do you do with the lettuce?
The other
Just
one,
chuck it in.
he put the
that one was bad.
electric fry pan in the dishwasher.
I did do that, and you know what I said? I couldn't be bothered. I just could not be. I couldn't be bothered to wash it, and I was like, "It's going in." I don't care.
But did it break it?
It didn't the first time. So I thought it was sweet. The second time it did, yeah. My latest one was, those metal bowls?
Yeah.
I put that in the microwave.
Oh, Jesus.
It literally caught on fire.
Yeah.
It literally was like...
Mate, I did it with...
I didn't know that was foil. Apparently that's...
Yeah.
I thought it was aluminium foil. I didn't know it was aluminium.
Yeah, I've put foil in over
foil,
a bowl
not that
before.
dumb.
Oh, okay. Well, Jesus Christ.
You're not that stupid.
Another thing, I give him the benefit of the doubt, and then he just stabs me in the back. I've thrown it in there, and instantly it was like a storm cloud in there. There was like lightning and shit going everywhere. I was like, fuck, I got to get this
Don't
out.
be too hard on yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. And at the end of the day, we're all going to die one day, right?
That's right. Just let yourself be free, mate.
Correct. Yeah.
And anyway, back to Alex deserves a bloody medal for dealing with me, honestly.
Yeah, right.
Bronze?
My ups and downs.
Or like gold.
Gold.
Yeah.
The ups and downs, honestly.
You are, but you are like quite an anxious person, right? Very nervous.
Very.
Yeah. But that's because you care. Like when it comes to your footy,
I care so much that sometimes it's like I look forward to a day where I don't have to care as much. Am I like...
spot on.
Dad, well, you were
but I don't know if I'm fast forwarding away something that's so good. Like I love it, but I also want to not feel like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Jake, and
I hope that doesn't come across the wrong way because I do love it.
Jake, you are exactly right, mate. At the start of my career, I had great disdain for people who, after was able to just let things go straight away. Disdain, the right word. I just couldn't understand it. I was like, why aren't you hurting like I hurt? And then I realised later on that my attitude was actually burning me out.
Yeah.
And you look at Beaver, right? Beaver's an example. Like we'd lose an Origin game or a Test game, and look over at Beaver and Beaver be like, oh yeah, he wouldn't be laughing, and deep down he'd be hurting a little bit, but he's able to let it go, and hence why he played, here in the UK almost 500 games, because it didn't take a mental toll. The day that I got injured and I knew I wouldn't play again, I'll be honest with you, Jake, the emotion I felt relief most. The emotion I felt the most was relief. I was like, fuck, it's over. I can stop torturing myself.
See, I think like that sometimes too. But then I think what also drives me is that I play alongside my brothers too. It's like it's something I just don't want to
give up.
I don't want to give it up anyway, but I don't want to that feeling. And it's ever since Ben's come in, like obviously me and Tom took it for granted, right? So Tom debuted my 5th game, so we've always played together. So it was just like. Yeah, whatever. But now Ben's playing. It's just like I think that's what just like drives me to. I just want to.
Yeah. Do you worry about Ben on the field?
Yeah.
Do you?
About everything.
More so than Tom, because he is the youngest.
Yeah, I definitely worry about Ben. I want him to do well. If he's worrying about something, I'm worrying about it. You know what I mean?
But you also wear a little insight for people. You were like when Turbo was going through a lot of his injuries. Like you would wear a lot of that too. I remember when Turbs got hurt mid-year 2023. That took a fair toll on you. It seems like as the oldest, you wear a lot of the pressure of all the boys.
Well, I don't like seeing bad things happen. You know what I mean? And then obviously know what everyone says about Tom and that sort of thing. And I just know how much hard he works. I just don't want it to happen. You know what I mean? It just kills me. So it's great seeing him. play some good footy. You
Bloody
know,
oath.
and it's great seeing all his hard work pay off.
Can I ask you a tough question here, Jake? And I think it's a question I'm going to ask because, blokes like yourself and Tom, right? You're so easy to respect. So easy to respect. But there's young blokes out there, young footballers, young people in general, young girls and everything that are on the end of like horrible trolling. Like, do even blokes like you and Tom cop it online?
Yeah, I don't go on my social
You
media. I just don't go on it. Like I got it there in case I have to do something, but I put it on Luke, my other brother who doesn't play footy, Luke's phone.
Yep.
I was like, change the password and do not tell me at all costs. Because
Yeah.
you know when I deleted the app and then I'd get bored, so I'd go back on it, right? Just
Yeah.
to look at things. And then now I've had it gone for years, so I don't need to look at it, right? But
Yep.
yeah, you still definitely, as like people say, you're fat, you're slow. Well, that's true, but you know what I mean? It's annoying. Like, it just doesn't make you feel good. You know what I mean?
Why give something the
Like,
attention if it's just going to be negative?
And like, as some people get a right access to you they don't deserve. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's a good point.
You think about those people who do that, right? And you got to think of it like this. Here's a person that was born one day and their mother and father had such great ambitions for them. They grow up, they're going to be a doctor, or they're going to do this, such ambitions. And these people end up sitting in a basement trolling people that were better than them.
yeah,
How the fuck do they live with themselves? And I feel so sorry for their parents.
I know. It's hard. Like, it frustrates you at times.
Yeah.
Then you just got to, I don't know, you put it in perspective. It's like, man, I'm just doing my best, honestly. It's like, you go out there, you compete as hard as you can. Like, I've had to see, like, people for certain, like, you out and compete as hard as you can in that moment, and then it's done.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done, but that's why you try and
And I just bring that up because I want people like young people to understand that even Jake Trbojevic and Tom Trbojevic, who are the easiest blokes to respect, cop shit off these morons.
yeah.
Well, I think there's probably not even outside of athletes. Like, you're in the media now, obviously, but you have a good perspective. You've lived through 3 generations of when it was like the newspaper, and then technology kind of sort of came in, and now it's like full thriving to an AI level where everybody gets access to everything.
Yeah.
You being off, like, you don't have that habit like probably a lot of us younger guys have. So you don't know what people think of you.
No, I don't. I have it. I'm blissfully
That's
unaware.
the best thing I've ever done. I would say to any professional athlete, I know they've got to do it for
Promos and whatnot.
promos and they make money off it, which I get that.
Yep.
But if I was saying performance, I'd get rid of it. Honestly, I don't know what it serves for you and your performance.
Yep.
I guess you get paid from it, some people.
Yep.
But I would advise anyone to get rid of it.
Well, and the thing about it is, Jake, why it becomes such a surprise, talking to some players that have asked me advice on it, why it becomes such a surprise is the times they do get on it was after they have a blinder. And they get on there expecting praise, but you can't please those people, right? And they get on there and they're getting hammered. And Coop, you're right. The transition from into the digital age and internet age, like living through that, back in the day, a person would write a letter to the editor. That's what a troll did.
Yeah.
They'd either say something in the back of a toilet door or they'd write a letter to the newspaper and it'd be in there, right? And I remember when the internet came in and suddenly the boys were saying at training, have you seen these things, these forums, fans forums? And we're like, nah. They said, oh, mate, you should see the fucking things you're saying about you blokes.
Yeah.
And we're going, who would do that?
I know. I don't get it. But you know what? So, you said you look at things when you have a good game. You know what Freddie told me once in Origin camp? We didn't play well. We lost. I was devastated. He said, mate, we don't read the papers when we win, so it gives us the right to not do it now when we lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's just a great.
Yep.
He's got some great things, Freddie. Like I was like, that's so true. Like, why when you go well, just don't even look. When you're going,
that's it.
It's just then you've got the right to not look.
At the end of the day, Jake, yourself, you know when you've had a great game and you're satisfied in yourself. You don't need to jump online to give vindication of others.
Well, that's the thing, and I think that's what I learned from. I know I've gone back to Des a lot, but just the way my strengths and playing my strengths. Like, I'm not a player who's going to go out there and power out 200 meters. You know what I mean? I play in the middle, but I'm not going to do that, right? I'm not going to offload. I'm not going to score a couple of tries.
Well, you have.
Rarely, right? Rarely.
When Ches passes to you over the line.
You know what I mean? Get me off the nudie
You
run.
wouldn't believe it. Someone backed Josh King last night for 2 tries at $81.
Did he?
Score?
He scored a double. Josh Kingy.
Sorry, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, well, that's Kingy scored a double against the Roosters. I know, the Kingsman. And Kingy hasn't got out of first gear since 2015.
He's a great player.
Great player, Kingy.
Do you know why I backed him last night? Because our producer was sitting there. It's Murphy's Law. And Hindy goes, I might back him, I might back one of the forwards tonight. What do you reckon, Josh King? And our producer, Cleaky, goes, Josh King, mate, he never scores. And I went, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to, Murphy's Law, I'm going to back him for a double.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's a good player. When they did the Origin teams and they said King for Max King very well deserved selection. He played great. I thought they meant Josh King, and I went, well, that was even well deserved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My word.
And he's very so consistent. Like when you talk about an NRL player and what coaches teach you as a player to strive for, Kingy's a great example. Kingy's an example of a bloke who gives you 7.5 out of 10.
Well, his best game and his worst game is the same.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you know exactly what you're going to get out of him, and that's what you want as a teammate.
State of Origin, your memories, Jake. Some of your best memories in the game.
Oh, without doubt. You know what I mean? My Manly career hasn't been it's been great, but hasn't been the most successful career, right? So, State of Origin and playing rep football, sort of where I've got I think back to last year, 2024 being captain, that was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had, right? Don't get me wrong, I felt so out of my depth and so nervous and whatever, but that win up there at Suncorp was just, I don't think I've ever been so happy. The only other time is 2019 when Teddy scored that try on the booter.
That was
I was on the field for that. Then I would have ran a high-speed meter from about 80 metres back to get to Teddy. I was so happy. Some of it feels like that sort of arena gives, I don't know, just career, gives you a bit of worth. I don't know, you get success on the big stage, that sort of thing.
When you got that call about being captain, obviously it was unexpected because you weren't even captain in the club, but when you got that call, were you just I
was hoping to get in the team, right? So 2023, I didn't play games 1 and 2. I played game 3. And then new coach, I was just hoping to get in the team. And then Madge called me on the Sunday. I was walking the dog with Alex and he's having a chat to me and said, I want you to be captain. I felt sick. I was
really?
Mad all day. Just very stoked, but how am I going to captain these blokes? I got Isaiah Yo's captain 4 premierships. So this bloke, you know what I mean? How am I going to do this?
Well, the theme of whole Madge's tour, he carried that blue jersey in the lead up everywhere he went and saying, "This is what. Come on, tell me what this jersey means." And you're the perfect example. It was exactly what you're after. Yeah. Did you learn a lot of Madge?
I did. The bloke's that passionate, and he just wants it. He just wants it. I could imagine him up there, Brisbane, just driving for success, and he just will not let. Yeah, I learned a lot from that. He was great.
Well, talk about Brisbane. They start it seems like that first half of the year for Madge, it's been hard because he's trying to change a whole different culture to what he sees as important. Looks like they're starting to come
they're
starting to turn the tide. If they
and that bloke wants it. He wants just success.
They're the kind of side if they peak coming into finals, they're dangerous with the amount of talent.
They're a huge chance. You judge a coach sometimes not just in results, how much he improves the players. Look at Shibasaki. Look at the centre, Katoni Staggs. Yeah. Look at the improvement in all those players and those young players. Willison.
Yeah.
Madge is a great coach.
Yeah, he was great for that arena. He put so much passion into it too. As you said, he had that jersey everywhere. Anyone who come into camp, any former player, he had them up there. Tell us what this means to you.
Is it hard, even go to this year? Round before the game 1 of State of Origin, you got concussed. Was it up in Townsville or something? Yep. I think. And, obviously ruled out. Was that going from the captain last year and winning? How tough is it for you? Obviously, that jersey means so much. You're so passionate to sit on the sidelines.
Well, I obviously, had a kind of thought I probably wasn't going to be there anyway, you know what I mean? So it wasn't I kind of had that vibe that I wasn't going to be there, but it was definitely hard. You want to be out there, you know what I mean? You want to be a part of it. You're obviously passionate for the Blues, right? So you want to be out there, but I don't know. I think I was still just as passionate watching it. I was loving it. That first game was great, eh? That was
well, that's
getting that into it. It was almost like I was on the bench again. You know what I mean? Going crazy.
Well, let's see. I remember we were texting each other after game 1, and you were just bloody hell, get that up, you Queens, eh? You were still so. And I was I remember sitting there thinking, that's so sick for someone who's been there and done it. It'd be very easy for you to go, fuck, I wish I was out there, but you're still so stoked for some of your teammates who are playing the game.
I just wanted them to win so badly. Hey, it was that first game, as I said, I was probably carrying on a bit to you. Don't read the text out, please.
Have you toured overseas with the Aussies? You've been over there on tour?
Yeah.
Amazing experience.
Amazing, yeah. I did 4 Nations in 2016.
Yeah.
And then World Cup 2022.
I enjoy the tour in England.
Yeah, both of them were in England. Yeah.
2016, Jobo, were you with the big 3 then?
Yeah.
Slatsy, Cooper and Cameron Smith?
Billy Slater didn't play. I actually played for Australia with Billy Slater in 2017, but he didn't play 2016.
Yeah, with shoulder.
Darius Boyd was the fullback, but Cooper Cronk and Cameron Smith were playing. Yeah, I played one game against Scotland that tour as I was starstruck the whole time.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that like, because you've played with a lot of, obviously when you first come into first grade, you're playing with Brett Stewart, all these players. I imagine you would have admired the big three's work for a long time as a Manly player. What was like your first interaction like with those boys?
Oh, yeah. Well, funny story, right? So I got called in late, right?
Oh, yeah.
To the camp. And they were in Perth. They were playing in Perth. So I got there for game day. And then I had a test in Perth. Then they were going to England. So Josh Parley got injured. I went in there. We went out that night and I like lost everyone, right? I didn't really know anyone. I felt out of my depth, right? And like, I was just like very awkward. I'm like, I'm done here, right? As in, like, I sort of went back to the hotel, as I do, back door. One
of the greatest
anyway,
smoke bombers of all time.
I felt out of my depth. I'm a great smoke bomber, but this time I just didn't feel. Anyway, I walked back and sitting in the foyer, Mal Meninga, Cameron Smith, Matt Scott, Sam Thaiday, and Craig Catterick from the Knights.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I was just going home to go to bed, right? And they've gone, Jake, sit down here, Jake. And they go, do you like red wine? I hate red wine. I hate red wine. I said, love it, right?
Red wine, I'm a connoisseur.
Yeah. Anyway, they drank red wine the whole night. They just played a test, right? I'm sitting there. I'm getting that, like, just pretending I liked it. I started liking it by the end.
Yeah.
My cat reckons by 5:30 or whenever, my teeth were all red. I was smiling like that. I've never been so hungover the next day. And me and Kat, every time I see Kat up at Newcastle, we laugh about that story.
Mate, red wine. I always say red wine's my favourite drunk, but you get so hungover on it. Like
I've never been so. That was the first time I've ever had it, and obviously I was trying to keep up with the big boys. You know what I mean? And I was done.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realise this about Smithy, but because he doesn't give that image across, but like Smithy can drink. Like after wins in Melbourne, he would just sit on a case and just still in his jersey.
They don't change, eh? It's great.
Yeah, he doesn't never see him drunk. He's just like consistent, but he's keeping up with you. It's like he's something in his blood.
The way they do the sheds is very impressive. I had some I didn't play in these games. As I said, I played one game against Scotland. I remember a game against England. We're in the dressing rooms after for that long. The only reason we left was because the bus driver had to take us home because his 12-hour gap from when he took us to the game, he had to clock off by 12 hours, otherwise it's illegal. So he had to take us back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We'd been in the sheds for that long. Would have been 5 hours after the game.
That old school mentality that those boys had of like the sheds is everybody has to stay in the sheds afterwards and have a beer. Yep. Like you probably don't get that as much in the modern group now. Everyone kind of go, and a lot of boys don't really drink these days. So a lot of boys kind of in their shower, they get out, but there is nothing better than after a win sitting in there and just.
That was some of the best memories. Like even with Woodsy, because Woodsy was on that tour. We talk about that still to this day, like how fun it was. Like and
talk about those places you can drink. Mal Meninga, like mate, Trish and I were staying at the Q Hotel right in the middle of the city, and one night we went in there and we go to the bar to have a drink, and this young bloke behind the bar goes, "Oh, Matty, we had a couple of your colleagues in last night. We had Mal Meninga, Justin Hodges, and Gordy Tallis." I went, "Oh, how'd that go?" He goes, "Oh, mate, Mal Meninga was like, he said, because, we keep a gauge of how much drinking you got to these days, with responsible service alcohol." He said, "I went up to my manager and said, mate, the big bloke there, Mal Meninga, he's had like 22 schooners." And the manager looked over horrified and goes, "Well, how does he look?" And the young bloke goes, "He looks fine." He goes, "Well, just keep serving him."
Yeah, rugby league. Some people can't, and we spoke about that off mic about some players in the local area who can't hold their piss.
We'll keep that off mic.
Keep that off mic.
Lachlan Croker, come on.
Croaks is all time to have a beer with,
and Bradley Parker.
Oh mate,
honestly, I don't. He's excited. I get excited because he doesn't play anymore. To go for coffee with him, right? You go for a drink with him, it's the best ever. He's such a good.
He's someone who's just so funny, like naturally, just to look at his mannerisms.
But then he's funny as well.
And when he starts drinking, and his big beak, his big schnoz, he starts getting around. Fuck, he's so funny.
His Trent Barrett story is still one of the best.
Yeah. Oh, were you there? Remember the T-Baz story where it was a bad loss and they point to him and he goes,
he's always a 7.
Yeah, 7 out of 10 bloke, 7 out of 10 strength. And Parks he was trying to give him a rap for how consistent he's off the field.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to say. He literally, you're a 7 out of 10 bloke.
7 out of 10 bloke.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, for those people that haven't listened to it, basically Parks had a great game out there, one of the other consistent ones out there. And to make an example to the rest of the group on being consistent, what you do off the field, consistency-wise, translates to on the field. They said, look at this bloke over here. Brad Parker, okay? He's a 7 out of 10 strength, 7 out of 10 speed, 7 out of 10 bloke, and then he goes out there and he has a 7 out of 10 performance. That's what I know I'm going to get out of Parks every week. The message, it's a great message to players.
It's just hilarious.
It's just, everyone heard apparently was just 7 out of 10 bloke.
Hey, guys, it's okay to be average.
Look at him. Look at how he looks. He's 7 out of 10.
What do you think, Jake, going forward in the future? Would you like to have a crack at coaching?
Look, I have days where I'm like, obviously, as we know how passionate I am for Manly. I have days where I'm like, yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to try and lead this club and that sort of thing, right? But then I have days where, just what we were talking about before, where it's all a bit much and it's like I need a different path, you know what I mean? So I'm a bit unsure, as it comes to the sort of end of my career. But I obviously know this club, like they've been good to me. I know they'll look after me. And
Jake, have you ever considered, or have you ever fielded an offer from another club, a good offer?
Oh, like there's been interest, but we've never I got to give credit to Paul. Paul Sutton is our manager, right? He's never really
pushed.
Yeah, even when we were young, right? Sorry, when I was young, when Des had first gone to Bulldogs, we actually got like a offer to go to the Bulldogs, right? And it was good, right? But he said, "Nah, Manly, this is your home." Like it was a lot like stay at Manly, and he's always done that. We've always done our contracts over a year out, so we've never had to go to
the market.
You know what I mean? Like he's always done it very ethically or whatever, and I like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we're obviously lucky that they wanted us at that point too. You know what I mean? So that makes it easier. But no, to answer your question, no, we haven't really. Like we've never really had to.
I remember a young player. I tried to get into Newcastle once. So I remember you were on the cusp of first grade, but you had a bad ankle injury.
Yeah. I played one game at that stage.
Yeah, had a bad ankle, and there was a lot of depth in the forwards. I remember going to Monavale one day and said, you were like, oh, yeah. And I tried to take advantage of him and said, mate, don't worry, we'll get into Newcastle. And you you went, oh, yeah. In your mind, you're going, no fucking way, I'm going up there.
Remember I seen you that time I was picking up Killer and Steve Mattyi from the Coleroy.
The boat
shed. You were there and had me broken leg too.
That's right.
What sort of, hang on. So run through, what kind of state was Killer and Stevie Mattyi in? And then what kind of state was Dad in? Well, had they had well hydrated?
Well hydrated. Okay. I was picking them up.
Designated driver. So were they, back in the day, were those boys ringing you to give them a lift or something?
Yeah, I was good mates with Killer. I'd pick him up. I didn't used to drink much. When I first sort of was young, I just very focused on footy. It's just everything's been
now
about,
where you're an alco.
Sorry. I'm still very focused on footy.
You are.
But yeah, so I was always the driver.
Yeah, because we've given, when Turbo came on the potty, we made the Turbo rounds famous, where, we've referred to them before, where that's because when we were at Melbourne, we used to call it Turbo rounds, because Turbo bought a round of 30 vodka sodas for us in Bali one year for all the boys when we were having a Mad Monday in 2019.
He's very generous.
But I'll give you a rap here. They could be equally called Gerbo rounds as well.
No, I've got to give it a time. I don't think I've got two. They're both Manly fullbacks. Brett Stewart, one of the most generous people I've ever seen. When you're drinking, he'll literally, I swear when I was young, he would have shouted a whole team drink from time to, you know what I mean? He's so generous to this day. And Tom, I think it was the Manly #1 tradition, it must be.
Yeah. Well, they're the highest paid.
Maybe.
Maybe that's got something.
But Brett Stewart back in the day, honestly, he would shout everyone.
Yeah, would he?
In the bar.
One of the great.
Probably.
Jeez, he's a great Snake.
Oh,
good
best.
fella, and Glenn as well.
And great player. And his brother Glenn, what's underrated about him is how tough he was. Everyone just thinks about the skill, which he was a very skillful player.
Yeah.
But he was very tough.
Yeah, the skill overshadowed the toughness.
He was very tough. They forget about that. And Snake was tough too. Oh, yeah.
And it was and like Ches has had a long and illustrious career. He was so lucky that side he went into. And, the very fact that, he was, Ches still to this day, correct me if I'm wrong, he's more comfortable running the football than passing the ball. He's a runner. In those days when he first came into grade, you'd see him catch the ball, he'd either throw it early to Glenn or he'd just take him on. Simple role.
Yeah.
But that's, those little trick shots, Glenn and
what a player!
oh,
honestly,
man.
what a player!
Great, great.
That was a
player.
good. Geez, that was a good side.
That killer on the right edge. With,
What about him?
He was great.
I've never seen a greater player in such an average body.
Well,
Even more than Cameron Smith.
You're sad to Jake. That's so.
I'm sorry, Jake.
I've got the average body, just not a great player.
I love how
you are a
Do you know
great
what's
player.
funny? When we were all together, 2023 playing. So the three, we used to do this test. It was like a bench press test. Remember that one where they
fucking
put,
hate. Sorry, swearing.
No,
I hate these tests.
so they put cables to the bench press, and it'd be like a percentage of your body weight on there, and they test your power like based on how quickly you get up. The three worst in the club and it's just three great blokes. It was myself, it was DCE, and Jakey.
And I was at the bottom of the three. I couldn't even beat those two. Yeah. Bench.
Jakey come up to me every Tuesday and go, "Fuck you! You keep beating my fucking bet."
Can you at least let me win? Literally the worst in the club.
Oh, Jake.
It kills me.
But you're straight. But everybody will attest to this at Manly. The one person you don't want to wrestle in the wrestle room is you, because those big mitts of yours, when they get around you, they
big
just
Serbian
Big
mitts.
John claws, you know.
Yeah.
I remember I'm trying to remember who you got. You got one. It might have been Parks. You remember that day we're doing wrestle, and Parks was like notorious for Brad Parker. If he was in a bad attitude, he just didn't want to be there.
He'd just lay on his back and let you lay on him and just not care. You know what I mean?
But you, I think he did something to you that day, and you went up and you partnered yourself with him, and he was going, "Jake, don't, Jake." He was going, "Jake, please don't," and you just had him there, and were like strangling him like a python. And Brad, typical Parks, he just had no fight.
He
was
just laid there.
Like a jellyfish.
Yeah. And it's like, all right, you'll have a rest, I'll have a rest too.
It was so funny. Thanks, Jakey.
Jakey, you're a champion, mate. Look, mate, we've as a family and you know, we've admired the way you hold yourself, the way you played, and good on you, mate. There's still a lot of years for you to come, a lot of tomorrows. So hopefully you can grab that premiership, brother. Yeah. I'm hoping. Listen, we're all going to die one day, okay? Yeah.
Thanks, fellas.